Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Hiba, and here on my channel I cover recent missing person cases. Before we get into today's case, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to all of you who have subscribed to my channel. I just reached 2,000 subscribers and I'm so excited to have you all here. In 3 months, it'll officially be a year since I started my channel. And I remember when I was first getting started, I was so nervous to make and post content. However, I've been so lucky to have such a kind, supportive community come together. So thank you again. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into today's case. On Thursday, October 14th, 69-year-old Richard Max Albright disappeared from Queens, New York. Richard, who was raised in South Africa by Southern Baptist parents, is a nurse and works at the hospital for special surgery. He's worked at this hospital for 16 years since relocating from Texas. This hospital is a very prestigious hospital. It was ranked #1 by US News for their orthopedics and rheumatology treatments. According to the hospital's senior vice president and chief of staff, Jennifer Rentas, Richard is beloved as a colleague and expert in a highly distinguished profession. He treats each patient with compassion and is an example for others in his positive bedside manner. At the time of his disappearance, Richard was finishing up a 3-week vacation from work and was supposed to return a few days later on Saturday, October 16th. On the 14th, however, Richard left his apartment building on Junction Boulevard at 11:18 a.m. Surveillance footage shows him exiting and making a left turn towards Northern Boulevard. I will insert that footage here. Unfortunately, Richard never returned, and his phone has been going to voicemail ever since. I'll come back to discuss the clip in a minute, but first I want to tell you a little bit more about Richard and about the circumstances here. Richard's wife, Kathy, texted him at 1:30 p.m., and she was notified that it did go through. However, she did not receive a response, which is completely unlike Richard, and his voicemail has been going to voicemail ever since, like I said. According to Kathy, Richard is a devoted, caring husband who would never make her worry about his whereabouts. She's actually quoted as saying, "He would crawl through broken glass and swim through a river of hot lava to let me know where he was." She also said that Richard loves being a nurse and that he has a great relationship with his colleagues. Kathy also shared that her husband is on blood thinners and a daily antibiotic since he's had 3 open heart surgeries and a double knee replacement. Unfortunately, his medication is not with him and is still at home, which makes this all the more concerning. So where is Richard and what could have possibly happened? I'd like to look a little bit further into the surveillance video that we have. In this video, it appears that Richard is limping or that he's unsteady. We know from his wife that he's had 2 knee replacements, so that could explain why. I've also seen some sources just state that he walks with a shuffle. It can also be seen that Richard is wearing slippers. According to Kathy, this is because his regular shoes were hurting him. In the video, Richard is seen walking through the lobby area and towards the exit. There's another individual who is also heading towards the door. The individual walks out first and then holds the door open for Richard. They then proceed to walk out of the second set of doors the same way. It seems like both individuals headed in the same direction after leaving the building. I've seen some speculation that Richard and this individual knew each other and that they were potentially leaving together. In my opinion, based on the video, this doesn't appear to be the case. It seems like the individual was heading towards the door and they realized that somebody was behind them. Doing the decent, polite thing, they simply held the door open for the next person, which happened to be Richard. So while I don't think that there's necessarily a connection between Richard and the person who held the door open for him, there is someone else in this video. As Richard exits, a woman in what appears to be black athletic wear or a tracksuit walks into the frame. She's holding her phone and another item, which appears to be a brown paper bag. As Richard leaves, this woman can be seen looking out the window in his direction. After he leaves, she stops near a counter of some sort or a desk. I wondered if it was potentially the front desk or if she wanted to speak to a receptionist or someone else who was there. However, she doesn't appear to talk to anybody but does something on her phone. This could be nothing, and this woman could have just been hanging around in the lobby area doing something else. However, is it possible that Richard was being watched? Could the woman have been texting someone to let them know that he just left the building? I don't think it's impossible, so I just wanted to throw this theory out there. Like I said though, this individual could have nothing to do with Richard or his disappearance. But even if the individual in the video isn't involved, someone else could be. Jackson Heights is not the safest area. According to crimegrade.org, the neighborhood is more dangerous than 70% of cities. The specific location of Richard's apartment is also in a bad part of the neighborhood. So it's completely possible that something else happened involving others. This leads me to question if Richard had his wallet, which could have given somebody a motive to do something. However, like I said, Richard headed out at 11:18 a.m. and the weather at that time was around 77 degrees. That means that there would have likely been many people out and about, and that somebody would have probably seen something if it happened. If it isn't the case that someone else is involved, there are several other possibilities to consider. I wonder if Richard regularly went on walks, and if so, what his route was. Like I said, his wife Kathy said that his regular shoes were hurting him, hence the slippers. I'm assuming that means that he was experiencing either foot or leg pain. But if that's the case, why would he go on a walk at all? Why wouldn't he just stay at home? It's possible that he regularly went on walks as a part of physical therapy to help with his knee replacements. But if he wasn't able to wear the proper shoes, why wouldn't he just do some indoor exercises instead? To me, the fact that he left wearing slippers indicates one of two things. He either planned on returning quickly or he wasn't in the right state of mind. If he planned on quickly returning and just wanted to go for a short walk, he wouldn't have gone very far. That means that he probably would have been found had he fallen or had some sort of mishap. I'm sure investigators have searched nearby areas and are continuing to do so. Again, I also think it's important to remember that this happened on Thursday morning in the city. If he did fall or have some sort of accident, there would have likely been people around to witness it or to help. The next possibility, which might explain why Richard might have left in his slippers, is that he wasn't in the right state of mind. By right state of mind, I'm referring to two possible scenarios. The first scenario involves the idea that Richard was dealing with some sort of cognitive impairment or deterioration, such as dementia or Parkinson's. If that's the case, he may be experiencing symptoms such as memory loss or confusion, which might explain why he hasn't come home or why he left in the first place. However, if this is the case, I feel like his wife and his colleagues would have noticed signs and symptoms. After all, Richard is a skilled registered nurse. He was supposed to return to work 2 days after his disappearance. Not only does he perform his job well, but he's also regularly around nurses and doctors. In my opinion, if he was dealing with a cognitive issue, someone would have noticed or seen a change in his work. The second scenario I want to talk about doesn't involve Richard's cognitive function, but rather his mental well-being. As discussed, Richard is a healthcare worker. This past year or two has put immense pressure on everyone, but particularly healthcare employees. Is it possible that this pressure became too much to deal with? Richard had been off of work for a 3-week vacation. Could the thought or dread of going back made him want to disappear? I think it's possible. However, if he was affected to this degree, I think he would have dropped hints that he was struggling. According to those who know Richard, he loves and enjoys his job, and he wouldn't just leave. There hasn't been any mention of recent stress or of the pressure becoming overwhelming. Also, even if he was overwhelmed, I doubt that he would just choose to leave everything behind. He could have taken a longer break or could have even left his job. Many in the healthcare profession have done exactly that over the past year. Richard also has a journalism degree and experience as a business editor that he could fall back on should he choose to leave. He's also 69, which is around the age that most people retire. According to a Facebook comment made by Richard, it doesn't necessarily seem like he was planning to, though. This comment was made just 2 weeks before he disappeared and was in response to someone asking if he planned to retire. He states, "Not sure. Have a good job. Already traveled a lot in my life." This response reaffirms my belief that he wouldn't have intentionally left due to work. However, anything is possible, especially because we don't always think clearly when we're not in a good headspace. I'd like to know what Richard did during his 3-week vacation. Did he travel or go somewhere? How was his behavior according to those around him? Was he acting strangely? The answers to these questions could provide us with more clues as to what potentially happened. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think happens. Tomorrow marks 10 days that Richard has been gone. His wife and loved ones are desperate for answers, and I truly hope that they get them soon. He seems like a helpful, kind man who is well loved and respected. Richard is 6'3" and weighs 250 pounds. He's partially bald with black hair and has white facial hair. If you have any information about Richard's whereabouts, please call NYPD's 115th Precinct. I'll have their information as well as my sources in the description. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And that's all I have for now. I'll see you guys in my next one.